So these are the Dragon Isles. For those wondering, like, where are they located? On the top right. How does that work for Northrend? Right next to it. It's a spot on the map. I don't think it's supposed to work with Northrend right next to it. It's not exactly overly chilly and cold. And I do believe that Redshirt guy, like many years ago, already asked, like, how does that work with Northrend and Pandaria and the different climates? And they were like, oh, you know, we just need a location. On the Dragon Isles, I'm going to imagine, since people are watching a beta stream, that they don't really care about spoilers, right? There's a cinematic on YouTube. Do you mean the announcement video, or do you mean actual cinematic? I know, no beard, it's there. But yeah, when it comes to the Dragon Isles, and people have been asking me about the storyline, I would say that it's very safe. So we come off the Shadowlands, where we've dealt with the realm of death. We've come off of killing literally Satan himself. Before that, we killed Argus. You know, we've stood toe to toe in the defense of Battle for Azeroth. We've killed old gods. Where do you go from there? And I've always said, like, in order to sell a story, in order to make a convincing threat, it doesn't have to be Titanic. It doesn't have to be cosmic. A fire-breathing dragon can be just as threatening as whatever you want to insert here. And apparently somebody was listening, because that's exactly what we're doing. So, the way that the story works, and you'll have to forgive me, I don't know all the details. That is actually what we're going to be doing today, and further in. I'm going to deep dive into, okay, what exactly is the storyline they're giving us? The way that I understand it is that the dragons lost the Dragon Isles with the War of the Ancients, and for some reason they were unable to find it until now. And coming back to the Dragon Isles, we gotta keep in mind that the Cataclysm happened. So with the Cataclysm, they fulfilled their destiny, which, let's not go in there. But they lost a huge chunk of their powers. They come to the Dragon Isles, they find their Oath Stones, and they pretty much reinvigorate their oaths with the idea of, we're going to restore their power. We're going to make them full-blown dragon aspects again. And it's going to play into the storylines that came before. One of the projects that I'm working on for the YouTube channel is a what came before. But if you can't wait for that, and you're looking for a more top of my head kind of thing, then you could check out WoW Krendor's channel. We recently sat down for like an hour-long chat, and we spoke about Shadowlands, we spoke about what happened to the dragons up to this point. But basically, we come to the Dragon Isles, and we reinvigorate the different flights. So we got Rephion, Ebonhorn, and Sibelian for the Black Dragonflight, Kalecgos and Khadgar for the Blue Dragonflight, there's Alexstrasza, the Queen, for the Reds, there's Nosdormu and Chromie for the Bronze, which are my favorites. And then the Green Dragonflight, that's probably hurting the most. The Green Dragonflight currently has Marifra, good job, Rain, who is the daughter of Ysera. And don't go to adult dating websites, by the way, team. Don't go there. Marifra has taken over from Ysera, as Ysera is in the Shadowlands. However, there is been data mine dialogue, which gives the suggestion, the idea that Malfurion is going to take her place in the Shadowlands, and Ysera is going to come back. Now, again, I need to repeat this 100%. It's data mined dialogue, and it went away. So we don't know if it's actually the plan. We don't know if it's going to make a return. However, if we look at the loading screen in 5, 4, 3, right? Just have a little look-see. On the top right, there's Ysera. So why is Ysera on the loading screen? Unless Marifra is going to do a bit of a transformation, that right there is Ysera. So is that plan of Ysera gonna go back? It is. Yeah. No, we checked it out. Shit, I don't have my screenshots on me. But we checked it out. Look. I really just want to instantly log out. Can I go to the resting area? Is that around here? It is, actually. There's a Hearthstone icon. Whee! There we go. We checked it out last stream. So we look at Ysera. We got the horn, right? The white horn. We got that moon on our head. Yeah. Look at Ysera. Look at the markings on the eyes. Yeah. And then we look at the loading screen. Got the markings on the eyes. We got the moon, and we got the same type of horns. That's Ysera. The reason why they look a little bit younger is because all of them got a boy band upgrade. Same with Nosdormu, Kalik. Everybody got like a bit of a different model. So why put her on the loading screen? Now, it doesn't need to mean anything, right? It doesn't have to mean anything. It could just be that they're gonna go for daughter. We did just watch the cinematic. Ali, if you mean the introduction video, then yes, we did just watch it. And there is no representation of the green Dragonflight. Again, I'm talking about data mine dialogue, right? And we're just showing off what we know right now. Krex is not on the loading screen. We all know what happened to him. Exactly. Like, again, I just want to make 100% clear. I'm not saying that Ysera is going to come back and that Malfurion is taking her place. I'm saying that on the loading screen there's a Ysera and that there's been data mine dialogue. There's no representation of the green Dragonflight in the cutscene right now. And the question is, will it be Marifra? Are they actually going to build up her storyline? Is Ysera actually going to make a comeback? We don't know. That's what I'm saying. The person who looked at all those dates, that 100% succession rates. Ooh, we got a leaker. We got a leaker going on. What else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, the storyline. So, we're reinvigorating the different Dragonflights. We're like making them do their oaths all over again, fixing their oath stones across the zones. You're dealing with the Dragon Isles have been left alone for the last 10,000 years. The dragons make a return, and we're basically reinvigorating them, right? Then, when it comes to like what threats are we dealing with, what bosses are we dealing with, this is something that you will witness at the Dragfear starting area. Apparently, and this is new stuff being added. It's not a retcon, it's just more stuff being added in the in-betweens. Just looking for adventure guide. Oh, look at that. They even got... What the... They got Alexstrasza on the window for the Dragon Isles. Cool. Okay, we need to check out in a moment. So the first raid. We have Razageth the Storm Eater. Num 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 num. Razageth is the thing that comes out during your Dragfear starting area. I don't know it, Xfar. Apparently, once upon a time, there was a war between the dragons that have been transformed by the Titans and the basic proto-dragons more aligned to the elements. And that war was obviously won by dragon aspects, but since this whole storm dragon thingy comes out, and they have like elementalists next to them, they're having a whole party, that's basically the threat that it all starts with. Considering that Razageth the Storm Eater is the first boss of the first raid, I'm going to assume that we're going to take care of that threat. But then the question becomes, where do we go from there? No, Nadav, I've done a couple of them, although I haven't done the final quest, so I'm quite curious about that. Yeah. So after we've dealt with this problem, what else might they deal with? A lot of course, Galagrond could be a thing. For those unaware, Galagrond was like a big-ass proto-dragon way back when, and they mutated for some reason. And that is actually the threat that the Dragon Aspects teamed up against, and that's how they showed Keeper Tyr, like, hey, the world could use more defenders, and that's why they were transformed into dragons to begin with. So Galagrond could make a return. It could even be a time-traveling thing. Or it could be something in the sense of what exactly made Galagrond transform to begin with, because that detail has never really fully been fleshed out. So if Galagrond was able to transform, what exactly has prevented others from doing so, and could it happen again? That could be a threat. We're looking at Nosdormu. Nosdormu knows that, unless the story is going to change, Nosdormu knows that Moruzand is his ultimate fate, right? Moruzand is a corrupted version of Nosdormu, and they were talking about the true end time, and although we've slain them in the Cataclysm, that whole transformation from Nosdormu into Moruzand could still become a thing. That could be your threats. But ultimately, if people ask me right now, and I have to take a stab in the dark and be like, okay, what is going to be the threats? And keep in mind, it's a stab in the dark, because who the hell knows? But if I look at what we got, it's a combination of Mr. Pandaria, with like a land hidden by mist, and now the Alliance and the Horde go there to Mr. Pandaria. And we're looking at like the Cataclysm, with like the elements and the Proto-Dragons and whatnot. My money is on Trellian. And another faction war. My money is on Siege of Stormwind. Let's go. We can bring in Yirl, we can bring in Alternate Realities. Trellian's gonna lead a faction war. Pixie, have fun dancing, love. Chromagus? Oh, Chromagus could be a thing. If I remember right, Chromagus was the culmination of 5 different colors into one single dragon, used in the book Twilight of the Dragons. And at the end, they were the dragon was so powerful that it was unable to be destroyed by the aspect. So instead, they locked it away within the Nexus. Chromatus. Yeah. That one. So they locked it away in Nexus. So I thought, by the time that the Blue Dragonflight lost like a chunk of their power, then maybe there would be a really cool idea of, you know, it set itself free from the Nexus. But that never really happened. But it could be a part, sure.